Good morning, everybody. Well, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning and it's already about 90 degrees, almost 90 degrees. It's been absolutely brutal the past couple days. We've been baling hay, we've been laying irrigation pipe because it's been really dry. And now I'm finally in the high tunnel here. We're ready to start picking tomatoes. You can see the clusters of them. They're doing really well. We're watering them over an hour every day just so that these things don't dry out, because outside it's about 90, 95 degrees. The feel like's about 105, and in here it's probably like 120. So we got to keep these things cooled down or the plants are just gonna wilt. So we're gonna start off this morning picking some green tomatoes for the farm market. There's not any red yet. There's some just starting to turn color, but for now we're just gonna get some big green tomatoes because people have been asking for them. The plants in this high tunnel versus the other one aren't quite as big, but they still have a ton of tomatoes. You don't need leaves to grow big tomatoes. That's what a big grower told us one time, and it's true. What you really want to focus on is just the fruit that it's going to bear. So, I mean, you can see these are just loaded. All right, so I only picked about 3/4 of a box. People don't really know we have them out there yet, and I want to get them fresh every day. So I think I'm gonna let it go. If they sell out, I'll just come back and pick more. It's not that big of a deal. Whenever we pick any kind of vegetable on the farm, whether it's for our farm market or for fresh markets we're going to, we try and pick it the morning that we're going just so that it's fresh. And if not, we pick it the day before and it goes in a cooler so it can stay nice and cool and it can stay at the right temperature. Because if not, it's not gonna last very long and it's not gonna taste very good. Stuff you get in the grocery store doesn't seem to taste as good because it's been hauled on a truck from usually down south. It's been sprayed with some kind of preservative so that it lasts longer, and that's just not what a homegrown vegetable should taste like. I didn't have the camera with me earlier, but I also picked some fresh garlic for the market. It's not the biggest garlic in the world compared to the rest of the field. It was kind of a dry spot, so I just figured that's what I'll pick for the market. It's still really nice, and we're gonna let the tops on it so people can tell that it's fresh. And then after we get this out to the market, we're gonna have to pick your own blueberry patch that's nearby, and we're gonna pick a bunch of blueberries so we have for the market also. So here's what's left of our greenhouses. We have a couple of our perennials left and a couple annuals here. Sammy's finishing up watering. She just watered all the hibiscus and our late cabbage and hollyhock. And then we're gonna add to the blueberry patch. All right, so we just got here to the blueberry patch. It's just me and Sammy. We already picked 2 buckets. Hunter was here, picked 3 buckets earlier. We're just gonna pick 1 more. The blueberries are pretty loaded. These bushes are a little smaller. The ones back there are bigger, but I just don't think the berry size is quite there, so we're over here. These berries are pretty nice size, so we're gonna see how fast we can get a bucket. So I don't know how many years this guy's been doing blueberries, but he's got one of the cleanest blueberry patches in the area. It's almost weed free. The blueberry bushes are really nice and the blueberry size is really nice. You can almost go anywhere. I would say this has got to be 10 acres at least of blueberries, maybe more. And you can almost go anywhere on any blueberry bush and pick a handful in about 30 seconds. One blueberry and a stick. Sammy, you got a red one right there.
It'll ripen, it's okay.
All right, so we're here at Steinrick's Blueberry Farm, which is about not even 2 miles from our farm and not even a mile from our farm market. And they were really good picking today. The fields are about as clean as you could ask for. The bushes we're picking now aren't huge, but the berries are really nice sized. Over there, the bushes are bigger, but to me, they look a little bit smaller. Blueberry size, I'm talking wise. And me and Sammy just got done picking this bucket. This is our, what, 6th bucket today between me, you, and Hunter. And you can see how nice sized they are. Not everyone's huge, but for the most part, they're really nice. And they're delicious eating. All right, so we just got back to the farm. Blueberries are done. We got them out to the market. We're gonna start the high tunnels watering now because it's just about 100 degrees and we need to get those roots cooled down. It's just too hot. And then after we get them started, we're gonna move our cabbage from inside of the greenhouse to the outside. So what we're doing now is moving our late season cabbage out into the wagon just because it's too hot inside the greenhouse to have them in there. We have to water them like 2 or 3 times a day. Hopefully out here it'll only be like once or twice. Just because it's so much cooler out here than compared to inside the greenhouse now. Even though we have the fans going and all that, it just doesn't help now. We got this wagon filled up. That's not quite all of it, but we're gonna let that go for now. We're gonna move on to the van. We gotta get that ready for market tomorrow. We gotta get tables on it, our quart baskets, our 2 quarts, our half pecks, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're moving on to next. All right, so it didn't take much. We gotta get some tables on here, which is right there. And then all of our quart baskets and our trays and everything up, like our signs and everything is up here. 2 quarts, half peck, quarts. We don't use pints very much, but we have them on here. And then all of our trays that we use for like our onions and peppers and stuff, which obviously we don't have peppers yet, but we're just getting them on so we're ready for the season. And so this is about ready for tomorrow if we decide to go because it's supposed to rain. I don't really know what's going on. But now we're gonna move into baling some hay, and then I think we're gonna call that it for the day just because it's getting way too hot. All right, so we're getting ready to unload a wagon load of hay, but before we do, I'm kinda gonna show you how it's gonna work. So we're gonna have a guy or maybe 2 down here, and they're gonna be throwing the bales off the wagon onto the elevator, and this will be running. And this metal piece is what holds the bale, and it's gonna bring it right up the elevator into the hay mow. It's gonna drop it down, and then that's where me, Ben, and Dad, or maybe just me and Dad, or me and Ben, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 guys are gonna be up there stacking the hay. Usually we put the girls in the wagon because it's a little bit easier job. So you'll see it as we go on.
Are you feet sweating? No? Doesn't burn feeling. Really? I think it's good. Whoa!
Hold on.
You're good.
How much
You're
more?
good.
He went, no, he needs to be close. See, that's not even close.
That's close.
No, it's not.
I think that's perfect. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's good.
What are you gonna do now?
Okay, ready? You're just gonna let it go, I guess.
Yeah, just let it go. Let it go and just pick them up off the ground. Everything fits in like a puzzle. What we do is when we're stacking it, we'll do one row horizontal and the next row vertical, next row horizontal, next row vertical, so that it's more stable when we're walking on it. Like you can see right there, the second row down is going a different direction than this top layer. And that's just so that it's not so wobbly when we walk on it, and then we try and keep as little of gaps in between here as possible so that, again, when we're walking on it, we don't fall through and nobody gets hurt. You can see my dad's trying to fit him in like a puzzle piece right now to fill the biggest gaps. Alright, so the bales are coming up the elevator, into the hay mow, and then Ben's carrying them to my dad, which is then stacking them as neatly as possible. So now that this wagon load's done, Sammy's raking off all the chaff, and then Dad's gonna take it down for another load. We already have another load sitting here ready to go, so we have 3 wagons we're just rotating back and forth with. All right, so we unloaded, I think, about 6 wagon loads altogether. Like I said earlier, it's over 100 degrees today. We're all beat, so I think we're gonna call it an early day. So remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work.